People think buying a laser cutter is simple. You buy the machine, plug it in, press start, and suddenly you're making beautiful products. That's exactly what I thought. Then I bought one. During my first few weeks I ruined plywood, burned acrylic, wasted money and questioned every decision that brought me to this workshop. The funny part is that none of those mistakes were caused by the laser. They were caused by me. If you're thinking about buying a laser cutter, this video could save you hundreds of pounds. If you already own one, I guarantee you'll recognize at least a few of these mistakes. Let's start with the one that surprised me the most. Want to make one thing clear before we begin. I love my laser cutter. It has completely changed the way I build products. I'd happily buy one again tomorrow. But if I could travel back to the day it arrived, there are a lot of things I wish somebody had warned me about. These aren't random tips from the internet. These are expensive lessons that came from real mistakes. Hopefully you can learn from mine instead of making your own. Buying the laser feels like the biggest expense. At least that's what I thought. I spent weeks comparing machines. Power, bed size, reviews. Then I finally clicked buy now. The laser arrived. I was convinced I had everything I needed. I didn't. Almost immediately I needed an air compressor, a water chiller, a better exhaust, replacement mirrors, replacement lenses, and plenty of plywood to practice on. Nobody tells you the machine is only the beginning. Buying the laser gets you into the hobby. Everything after that keeps it running. I used to think plywood was just plywood. Turns out I was completely wrong. One sheet cuts perfectly, the next one barely cuts at all. Some leave clean edges, others burn like toast. Sometimes you discover a hidden glue pocket right before the cut finish. That usually means the whole project is ruined. Cheap plywood often costs more, not because it's expensive. Because you waste time, you waste material, and eventually you buy another sheet anyway. These days I'd rather pay a little more for plywood I can trust. It saves money in the long run. One day my laser suddenly felt weaker. It struggled to cut plywood that had always been easy, so I increased the power. Then I slowed the speed. Nothing helped. The problem wasn't the laser, it was the mirrors. Smoke leaves a thin layer on the optics. That tiny layer steals more power than you'd expect. 5 minutes of cleaning made the machine feel brand new. Sometimes the cheapest upgrade is simply keeping your optics clean. The first time I forgot to turn on the air assist. I knew immediately. The flames knew too. Without air assist the wood burns faster. Smoke sticks to the surface. Edges become darker. Even engraving looks worse. Turn the air back on and everything changes. Cleaner cuts, less smoke, less sanding, less chance of accidentally creating a campfire inside your laser. Once you've seen the difference, you'll never want to cut without it again. Before buying my laser, I thought the machine did all the work. It doesn't. Most of the time is spent designing, measuring, adjusting, testing, checking everything one last time. The funny part is that the laser often finished cutting in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, I've been sitting at the computer for an hour. The laser is usually the fastest worker in the workshop. I'm almost always the slowest. One mistake can ruin an entire sheet of plywood. I learned that very quickly. Now I never start with the final project. I start with a tiny test. Different power, different speed, different focus. 5 minutes of testing can save an hour of work. It can also save an expensive sheet of plywood. Testing isn't wasted time. Skipping it usually is. I thought the exhaust would remove all the smoke. It doesn't. Smoke finds its way onto everything. Your plywood, your acrylic, your mirrors. Even the inside of the machine. The longer it stays there, the worse your results become. A good exhaust system helps. Cleaning your machine helps even more. A clean laser doesn't just look better, it performs better too. Social media loves finished projects. Nobody posts the failures. Every product on this shelf has a story. And most of those stories start with a mistake. Wrong settings, wrong material, wrong measurement, wrong file. I've ruined more plywood than I'd like to admit. At first it felt frustrating. Now I see it differently. Every failed piece taught me something. The scrap pile isn't proof that you're bad at this, it's proof that you're learning. When I bought my laser cutter, I secretly thought it would become the only machine I'd ever need. I couldn't have been more wrong. The laser is only one tool in this workshop. There's a saw for cutting, a sander for finishing, routers for shaping, drills for assembly, clamps to hold everything together, compressors, hand tools, boxes full of small parts that somehow disappear every time you need one. Every project starts with the laser, but very few projects end there. The laser doesn't replace woodworking. It works alongside it, and honestly, that's what makes building things so much fun. Every tool has a job. The laser just happens to be my favorite one. I always thought the biggest projects would become my favorites. Sometimes they did, most of the time they didn't. Some of my simplest designs became the most popular. They were faster to build, easier to sell, and more enjoyable to make. That taught me something important. Complex doesn't automatically mean better. Sometimes the best project is simply the one people actually want. Looking back, I wouldn't change the decision to buy a laser cutter. I'd make the same choice again. I'd just make fewer mistakes along the way. Hopefully this video helps you avoid at least one of mine. And if you're already making your own projects, let me know which lesson you've learned the hard way. If you're still thinking about buying a laser cutter, ask your questions in the comments. I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next project.